Hello and welcome. My name's Beck and you're watching Beck's Crafty Nook. We're in my girl's bedroom. It's finally beautiful and clean. And I'm here because I've got a pretty good suite set up with their desk. We got a nice big desk. I put my phone up here. We've got all the markers on the wall, all their stuff. So we will do the colouring videos in here. So today we're going to be using watercolors. I got my watercolor palette from Temu. I don't remember what brand. And I was looking at my Lafufu, which does in fact have a wonky face. And I was looking at its fur and all like the modelly, splotchy kind of design. The normal Labubus look like this too. And I thought I can do that with watercolors. So I've chosen this really cute page. We've got a really nice big Lafufu, lots of room to do the effect on the fur. I think we could do a really nice sky. And I think I'm going to have fun with a bright coloured popsicle. So I've decided to colour my Labubu today the same colour as my Lafufu, and we're going to start with this medium orange. I just dab it on in puddles and then I dab it back off with a kitchen towel, and I just keep building up the colour until I'm happy with all his little blobs. And then I just took some water and I blended in all the bits of paper that were white, took another look, decided I needed some more dark patches and kept building up the colour. Next for the popsicle, I really wanted to do pink, purple and blue. I don't know why I left out the middle bits to start with. If you have some of your colour that starts blending into, say, the orange, because the orange was still wet, I just grab my paper towel and I dab the colour off. Same with the sun. I'm just putting lots of different colours of yellows and oranges and dabbing and changing it around. So for a lot of the illustration, I am doing this technique of lots of water and dabbing, but for some other areas like the hands and feet, I did quite a solid colour. For the towel, I decided to go with pink and green stripes and using two different shades of green. And again, if there's too much colour there or I'm not quite happy with it, you can just dab it off with your paper towel. See, we're getting some it's running between the two colours, but like, don't stress, just dab it off, keep going. You could also be patient, which I am not, and let it dry. And so then I decided, because everything kept running together, that I would work on an area that is not next to everything else. So we went with this beautiful dark blue for the waves, and I put some little features on. So really I was just trying to work on areas that weren't touching other areas, especially if I put color down and it started to bleed into each other, because yeah, I wanted to just keep going. I didn't want to let it dry. So that's the great thing with watercolor. You can just take it on and off, you can add to it. So then with the beach, I wanted to use the same technique of just putting a bunch of colors together and dabbing it off for like a mottly effect. And I noticed that when I was finished, you get these beautiful little speckles. And I think that's actually from ripping up the paper a little bit from this on and off technique. And if I got anything that was like too opaque and dried on, I just added more water. Watercolor is really, really forgiving. And even though I've gone over some of the line work, like, it's a vibe. So I just checked to see that it wasn't bleeding through to the other page, and it wasn't. And my pages were a little bit, I had opened up to this page and left the book flipped open, so I had to keep holding it down so that the paper would be flat, because if I let it go, all the water and the color would have ran to the left hand side. I really enjoyed doing the sky. I just kept adding water and pigment and moving it all around, and I got some beautiful little speckles in the sky as well. Once the sky was done, I moved on to just a little bit of grey onto the clouds. I was worried that it ruined it, but I think it makes it look like you actually did colour them in, even though you wanted it to be white. I went back once the blue was a bit drier and put some more blue on. I found this beautiful red, which I thought would be perfect for the hat. We're doing a red and white stripes, and I made it really, really opaque. And it didn't run into the sky. Yay! I finished off the popsicle stick, which is also opaque, and then I thought that his body just needed a little bit of something. I'm not that great at shadows, so I knew that it should be shady under the brim of the hat, so I did all that top part quite dark. I actually did a darker orange, but for the rest I kind of just outlined it in a darker color. I did his teeth, and I didn't want to color his face the same color as his body, which kind of was the skin color. So I'm going to go back in later and use a colored pencil just to add just a little bit of color to his face to make it look like it's all finished. And here is our final page. You can see all those beautiful little speckles and where the color has pooled, especially on the popsicle. I love how the different colors mix together. The clouds are very pristine and white, except for that tiny bit of gray. And yeah, I love him. I think it turned out really cute. It's just a vibe. It's not perfect, it's a vibe. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like what you see. And check out these other videos.